Hi everyone, my name is Scott Kistler. I'm your teacher for this class. I wanted to give you a couple of things to look for as you're just starting to look over the class. And the first thing is I want you definitely to look at the syllabus. It's linked here on this page. And one thing that may be unfamiliar to you about the syllabus is just the way that it says that there are certain outcomes you have to meet, objectives you have to meet for the class, and to be able to get a C. And you'll see what those are on a document called Passing History 1513, and you'll see that in the linked in the syllabus, and it's on this page too. Well, you'll see how to meet those objectives in the course of the assignments and everything. But that's just something I wanted to point out, and make sure you ask me questions if you have any about that. So make sure you look at the syllabus and do all that first so you know what you're getting into for the class. Look over the things below in this page that talk about the suggestions for success, but there are also just two bigger picture things I want to talk to you about briefly that I always try to tell my students in class, and I can do it here through video too. The first thing that I've noticed about successful students over the course of my roughly 15 years in teaching community college is that successful students are curious. Okay, they ask questions, they make connections. There is an awful lot to learn as a college student, and one of the things that you'll see if you are trying to make these connections is that your different classes are connected to each other. The questions and the content that you think about here in this class connect to your humanities classes and your sociology classes and your science classes, and all the different classes that you take can probably be connected in some way. And students who are successful are generally curious enough to try to learn not only the content for this class and keep asking questions and keep trying to learn, but also to think more broadly. And so that I'd really recommend that to you. I can't make you curious. I can't make you ask the questions, but I would just encourage you to keep your brain turned on. And if you're having trouble making those connections, like how does this relate? Why is this important? I don't mind answering those kind of questions. I like answering those kind of questions. Okay, so that's my first suggestion, is to be curious. The second suggestion I have for you is to follow directions. It's not as highfalutin as the first suggestion of being curious, but successful students tend to follow directions. They read the directions, they understand the directions, and they then try to follow them. Now, that might sound pretty basic, but it's really important. It's hard to get good grades, hard to, accomplish the objectives for each class if you don't understand the assignments. And so read the directions, understand the directions, ask questions about the directions if you don't understand them, but really focus on that, not just in this class, but your other classes too. All right? You want to do the assignment that the teacher gives and not the assignment that you wish the teacher gave. So those are some important suggestions just as you get going. I'll have some other videos and everything up about the class and everything. I plan to next week, and that will be and by next week, I mean the first week of class. I'm recording this right before the class starts. So I'll have some more videos up next week, I plan, during the first week of the class and throughout the semester. Okay? And finally, just one more thing. This is an 8-week class. It says that down below. But it's an 8-week class that you want to make sure you're keeping up, because it does require a lot of time. The basic calculation is it's 18 hours a week. Okay? 18 hours a week. Because you're not in class, so you're doing it all on your own. That would be 9 hours a week in a normal 16-week class. And then we're doing it in 8 weeks, so that adds up to 18 hours. It's not my own calculation, that's just the way it goes for college classes. And so you really want to make sure that you have time for the class, as well as your personal commitments, your work schedule, all those kinds of things. Because I don't want you to start the class and then not be able to do the work. So if you're not sure about that, if talk to me. make sure that you have time for this in your other classes so that you can do well in the classes that you do take. So yes, again, please feel free to ask me questions by Canvas messages or KCC email. And I hope you have a really good semester, and I'll look forward to interacting with you online. And please also feel free to come by to my office as well. Thank you, and I hope you have a good day.